Okay, Mr. Taylor here again. I want to talk about some sequences with you briefly. Um, Actually, let's look at this actual activity with Halley's Comet. Now, according to the direction, it says that it last crossed our skies in 1986. The time before that was 1910, and the time before that was in 1834. So what I want to do in order to solve it, since we're talking about sequences, I'm going to set up a sequence. Now, remember our sequences begin with the actual number of the term or the position number, and they always begin with 1. So we're looking at literally 3. We're looking at only 1834, which is the first time that they show us. This is ace of 1. Ace of 2 is 1910, and ace of 3 is 1986. So first thing we need to do is to determine what is our common difference, or our D. So to do so, we will subtract 1834 from 1910, and of course we'll get 76. Then we'll subtract 1910 from 1986, and again we'll get 76. So here's our common difference. And it asks us when was the next time that we think that it'll appear. So all we got to do is just add 1986 and 76, and we will get 2062, the year 2062, and that's what I've actually put there. So now it asks us, well, what is the next 3 appearances, and explain. So since we have a common difference of 76, we just need to add 76 to 1986, and we will get term 4, which is ace of 4, which is 2062, and then add 76 to 2062, and we'll get ace of 5, which is 2138, and then add 76 to 2138, and we'll get ace of 6, which is 2214. So answering this question, the next 3 will be 2062, 2138, and 2214. Okay, let's move on along. It says that, well, the comet also appeared in around, we talked about Halley's, around 1530. So now, I mean, if you like to read about King Henry VIII, you can just go right ahead. That's enough information for me. It says when was his next 3 appearances, and explain. Well, if looking at this, I see that 1530, I've already came up with the common difference. We said that every 76 years. So all we need to do is add 1530 plus 76. That's going to give us 1606. Then if we add 1606 plus 76, that'll give us 1682. So we need 1682 plus 76 will give us 1758. So those are our next 3. But just for the sake of argument and just for the sake of making a true conjecture, I'm looking at 1758 plus 76, and we're right back to 1834. Okay, makes sense? Good. Let's take a look at the 4th one. It says, well, when was his previous appearances before 1530? Well, think about that. We're not going to add, are we? No, because adding means that we will be increasing. We want to go backwards. We want to work backwards. So what would be the opposite of adding? It's, subtracting 1530 by 76. So once we subtract 76 from 1530, we'll get 1454. Now we do the same thing with 1454. Let's subtract 76. 1378. So the last one, what do you think you'll get if you subtract 76 from 1378? Yes, 1302. Okay, so those are the 3 previous. Notice what we've done. We really now have came from 1302 all the way around to 2214 with the appearances of this comet. Well, let's not stop there. Question 5 says, well, how many appearances of Halley's Comet can we expect in the next 500 years? And then explain. Well, we know it's coming around every 76 years. We can simply divide 76 into 500, and we'll see that it's coming around 6 times. Now, I don't know who's going to be around 500 years from now. Definitely me. Will not be, may I say. So now we got 500 divided by 76, and we'll get 6. It's 6 point something, but we doing years, and we're going to just leave it right at 6. Now, what about something that I thought about, and we decided to look at this in one of the periods today in class, where we took 2013, which is our particular year, and the last time it was here was 1986. So we subtract those 27 years. Okay, then we subtract those 27 years from 500. Since we got 27, we subtracted from 500. So, okay, well, we got 473 more years. Divided that by 76. Lo and behold, we still get 6. So I'm convinced that it will show up 6 more times within the next 500 years. Well, here's another comet they've thrown at us. No, we're not going to try and determine a name for that comet. All I know is it was discovered in 1879, and it has been seen every 9 years since 1879. The last time it was seen was 2005. So the question is, how many times has this comet come within our viewing distance since its discovery in 1879? Okay, isn't it amazing how scientists have all this time on their hand, but then yet and still solve a problem with a sequence? Oh, the privilege of being an 8th grader. So 2005 minus 1879 will be what we will do to determine how many times as far as the years, and we'll get 26. So we say, okay, that's 126 years between 2005 and 1879, and this thing shows up every 9 years. So we'll divide 126 by 9, and lo and behold, it has shown up 14 times. All right, 7 minutes and 18 seconds of sequence. Have fun.